Hello, I'm Jonathan O'Brien and welcome to this Insights video. Sales versus procurement. Who can add the most shareholder value? Well, it's hard to work in a modern global business without being touched by some sort of corporate edict to add shareholder value. And this modern obsession seems to have begun way back in 1981 when the former CEO of General Electric, Jack Welch, made a speech in New York where he revealed that his aim was to be the biggest or second biggest market player and to return maximum value to stockholders. So, who can add the most shareholder value? The traditional view might suggest that the onus for meeting this challenge lies with the sales team. The more you sell, the more money you make, and the more value that can, in theory, be returned to those who own the business, thus driving up the share price. True in part, but if margins are low, or if the business is inefficient, then great sales figures have little worth. It takes effort to make a sale. In the ever-increasing global marketplace, competition is high, and hungry players are just a click away, ready to provide exactly what is wanted.
Okay, we have a deal.
Customers need to be found, convinced of the benefit, persuaded to part with their money, and then maybe they will remain as retained clients. It is clear that unless a unique, differentiated offering that everybody knows about and must have is on the table, it is essential to work hard to maintain a sale and maintain market position. Shareholder value is all the factors that create sustainable, long-term success, such as brand value, available capital, agility, and preparedness for change or to withstand challenges, enabled, of course, by an effective organization and a healthy profit. However, sales isn't the only game in town when it comes to shareholder value. Effective procurement within the organization can also make a dramatic and sustainable contribution, although it does demand a new approach. The traditional view of procurement as the function that buys things, responding passively to demand created by sales, perhaps securing good rates or prices wherever possible, can be deemed to contribute little to shareholder value beyond the fulfillment of need. However, today, world-leading organizations have recognized that procurement can contribute much more, but only if the company can organize itself so procurement plays a more strategic role. This operates at three levels. First, increasing sales margins. Effective procurement increases the organization's profit potential. Remember, profit is sales minus cost. These days, most businesses are quite efficient in terms of people and overhead costs, so that leaves the cost of spend with third parties. So why isn't everybody slashing their third-party spend and maximizing their profit? Well, the answer is simply because it's really difficult, but not impossible. It is the supplier's job to maximize their margins and maintain their position, and they are, on average, better resourced, better trained, better incentivized, and they do what they can to gain an advantage. However, modern strategic procurement approaches such as category management and supplier relationship management can, if well deployed, turn the tables and shift corporate buying from a tactical subservient function to a strategic contributor, challenging what has gone before and using the full extent of the organization's available leverage to secure dramatic price reductions. Number two, building brand value. And brand value creation is not confined to the marketing team. In fact, procurement has a role here too. The supply base is often thought of as a detached entity, but it is far from this. The supply base is in fact an extension of the business, with value from suppliers flowing through the business, being transformed in some way to create new value that flows on to our customers. So that means that the value the end customer gets is shaped by what the suppliers do. Obvious perhaps, but the functional nature of organizations means that this perspective is frequently missed. Procurement has a role here to preserve this value by managing the supply chain and supply chain risk, but it can also help build this value and indeed build the brand. The future innovation that could create a winning differentiator or add value in some way might not reside in the organization, but might come from the supply base. Unless businesses are organized to find and secure supply chain innovation, it will be missed, or worse, it will end up with a competitor. And here, procurement can identify those suppliers who hold future potential and instigate the right relationship and contracting mechanism to unlock this value. And third, shaping strategy. Shareholder value demands a business strategy to realize it, and one that looks beyond the short term. If the strategy is merely top-down, then the organization can only respond. So strategy ideally needs to be informed by all areas of the business. We are familiar with marketing teams informing strategy, as they are the ones connected to the needs and desires of what the end customer wants. But what can procurement possibly do to shape this corporate strategy? Well, an effective procurement function understands and is connected to the supply base. And the same possibilities that can build brand value exist there. If these possibilities are connected with end customers' needs and aspirations, then organizations can lead the field. It is therefore clear that corporate strategy delivering shareholder value is incomplete without procurement's contribution.